Now, Achasan played a pretty important role in Korean history during the Three Kingdoms era.
이쪽으로 가면 어디로 가는 거예요?
아, 이쪽으로?
네.
이쪽으로 가면 이쪽으로 길이 없어요. 길이 없어요, 여기.
올라가시라고 그런 거야. 여기
So it is Wednesday, just before noon, right around noon, and I am in eastern Seoul. I'm right outside Gwangnaru Station, and I've come here to go to Achasan, Acha Mountain. It's the place I most like to hike these days. I love the trails there because they have some short trails with scenic views. You can go up and down in an hour and a half, 2 hours, just for a quick jaunt, or you can get some longer hikes in with some more strenuous paths up Yongmasan, which is right next to Achasan. And then there's another mountain on the other side of Yongmasan called Mangusan, with an extended trail that feeds into the Seoul Trail, which surrounds the city. So a lot of people get off at Achasan Station to come out here, but on a day like today, I'm gonna go up and come down on a shorter trail, and I like to come down at Achasan Station, and I always go up at Gwangnaru. So to get to the mountain, you have to walk through this little neighborhood here, but it's a short walk, and then we'll hit a little garden trail. And since I've come out so late today, I'm going to stop and get some kimbap. Now, normally on a short hike, I don't take any food up with me, but yeah, since I started late, it's almost lunchtime. I'm probably gonna be hungry when I get to the top. And kimbap is my preferred food of choice when I go hiking. It's cheap, it's tasty, and it's easy to eat with your hands. The kimbap place we're going to is right up here. This is it right here. Gwangnaru Kimbap Chib. I'm gonna get the tuna kimbap. It's my favorite. We're not actually on the Achasan Trail yet. This is just kind of a prelude to the hike. It leads up to the main entrance up here. So the local government did a lot of work on this little park a few months back. The last time I was through here, they had it closed off, doing maintenance and adding new facilities. And you can see there the little pond is frozen solid, looks like. Okay, here we are at the entrance to the main trail, right there. They built this ramp about 2 years ago, maybe 3. It's one of those accessibility things. And these are pretty cool. These are, what do you call them, misters? I don't know. They spray a fine mist of water on very hot days. They just installed those last year. It was really hot last summer. But yeah, this whole part of the trail here, this front part, they've added all kinds of staircases and ramps here to make it more accessible, because this is where people come for their, just to spend an afternoon with the family, not necessarily to hike.
Now, Achasan played a pretty important role in Korean history during the Three Kingdoms era. Now, my knowledge of this is cursory, but I want to dig into it more deeply later and do some videos about it, about the Three Kingdoms area, about the history of Achasan and all that. But those fortresses have proven to be a great source of relics from the Three Kingdoms era. They've done several archaeological digs. But yeah, I just think it is so cool. And the first fortress is just up the trail a little bit. We can't see it from the trail. Just a part of the old wall is visible. But yeah, I'll show you that in a minute. And I got a cool little story about that one.
All right, this is the site of one of the forts. It was right up there on top, and you can see here some of the things they've recovered from it. Now, last year in the spring, I was hiking through here and I got a big surprise. I've always wanted to go up there and check it out just to see what's there. And as I was walking by one day last spring, late spring, early summer, I saw an elderly man and an elderly woman standing outside the gate of this fence, and the man was unlocking it. And as I walked by, he asked me, "Hey, would you like to go up to the top?" Turns out he was an archaeology professor, and he was giving a tour of the site to this lady. So I joined them. Now, unfortunately, I was so busy trying to focus on what he's saying, because the vocabulary he was using was so far beyond my Korean ability. I was lost most of the time, and I only remember bits and pieces of what I actually deciphered. And I did manage to get a couple of pictures, but not of anything interesting. But here's the wall. That was the base of the fortress, and some steps to go up it. And once you're up there, the view of the valley is just so clear and obvious. And there's nothing up there anymore. It's just, flat surface. All the digging they've done has been filled in. The only thing that's there of any interest, and that I didn't take a picture of, and I hate it that I didn't, there's two piles of rubbish, right? One is a bunch of broken pieces of roof tiling, the tiles they had on the whatever buildings they had there before, and that spans however many decades or centuries. And then a huge pile of pottery fragments. And what they did, the archaeologists explained, was they took the best pieces to the museums and left the broken bits that they didn't want just there in the pile. And the upshot of that is I got to hold one. He picked one up and handed it to me. And it's just a piece of broken pottery, but in that moment, I was just kind of, you know, in awe, because it's the oldest man-made object I've ever held in my hand, and it was just a pretty cool moment that I failed to capture. But we're gonna come down that way, and yeah, Sunrise Square. Okay, for now we're gonna take the right path. I love this path. Okay, this is a new one, a shrine to Marilyn Monroe.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, 안녕하십니까.
Are you Johnny?
No, I'm American.
American?
Yeah.
California?
No, Georgia.
Georgia?
Yeah.
Georgia number one.
So right down there is the Gogoro Blacksmith Village. I don't know anything about it, never been there. It's on my list. Okay, and right up here is the temple. Can never remember the name of it. It was on the sign we passed back there. We'll go up and get a quick look, and then we're going to cut back up the hill behind us, the slope behind us. This is a small one, not a whole lot to it. Got their bell up there. It is lunchtime. I sat down and the pigeons are already coming over toward me. He was up a lot closer.
이쪽으로 가면 어디로 가는 거예요?
아, 이쪽으로?
예.
이쪽으로 가면 이쪽으로 길이 없어요. 길이 없어요, 여기.
예.
그러면 그쪽으로 갔어요. 그 오른쪽으로
예.
조금 더 가서 오른쪽으로 가면 용마산 쪽으로 가요.
오케이.
예, 예.
고맙습니다. 땡큐.
예. 아니요. 이쪽으로요. 예. 그쪽으로 아마 200m, 300m 가면 오른쪽으로 가세요. Okay, the tuna kimbap here. You've got the tuna, you've got the dalmuji, it's a sweet pickled radish, you've got processed crab meat, egg, carrots, and a vegetable that I can never remember the name of, this brown stuff right here. So I always forget what that's called. Yeah, but the kimbap at this place is good. You know, kimbap can be surprisingly bad. I've had it at places that were just terrible, but yeah, this is among the better ones. Okay, back on the road again. It is 2 o'clock. I was there about 15 or 20 minutes, I guess, and that kimbap was good. So, gonna take you over to that fortress view. This is the part where we should be looping back to go down the mountain, but instead of going left over to Sunrise Square, I'm instead gonna veer to the right to show you that fortress, what remains of it.
관리 선수 1.5kg.
그러게 그때 눈 되게 많이 왔었는데.
안 오셔가지고 제가
this is the spot they call Sunrise Square. There's a viewing platform down below that looks back over the west, towards Central Seoul and beyond. And on a clear day, it's an absolutely gorgeous view. I hope this comes out somewhat visible.
길이 가는 데밖에 없어요.
아니 한 번에 타고 올라가서 그렇대. 한 번에 타고 올라가려고. 아 준비가 됐는데 아이고 안 됐네. 타고 올라가려고. 지나갈게요. 야 올라가네. 올라가. 오. 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 얼마나 타고 올라갈 줄 끌고 올라갈 줄 알고 그런 거야. 여기 와 괜찮아?
So on a normal day when I'm not filming and when I don't stop to eat kimbap, this loop course that we took, excluding the sidetrack to that other fortress for the view, but this loop should take, not much more than an hour and a half to do, if that, for me anyway. And even if you walk more slowly, it's not going to be too much longer. But I feel good. I'm not tired. I wasn't sure if I'd be ready to start hiking again or not. I felt ready, but sometimes feeling ready is more mental than it is physical. So yeah, I feel fine. So I'm ready to start tackling some more difficult trails again. And I think I might, next time I might just go ahead and do Yongma-san and then maybe head to the Bukhansan range after that. But my goal today for the vlog was just to bring you along with me. I came out here, that was my number one goal, to see how I'd feel at the end of it. And while I was here, I thought I'd film for the vlog, but I also experimented a little bit with a different audio setup. And I can't be sure until I get home if it worked the way I hoped it would, or hope it does. And I did have some audio issues at the beginning. And the other thing is, I never vlogged until I started this channel just around 2 months ago. And I'm still learning my way around everything. And I had no idea what it means to vlog on a mountain, on a hike. What does that even look like? So this little venture today was partly about getting a feel for vlogging during a hike. And I want to take you along with me on some other trails in and around Seoul and show you some temples and some of my favorite views and take you to some restaurants at the base of mountains. And right now, I'm just gonna walk on down the street here to Achasan Station. And on the way home, I'm gonna stop to get some coffee. Yeah, not Starbucks this time. I have, I'm on a budget, and I've discovered a budget coffee shop that actually is really good. And it may have cured me of my expensive Starbucks habit. We'll see. I'll show you that in a future vlog. We'll see you next time. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and watching. Bye-bye.